How's it going, guys and girls? This is Ketchup here once again, bringing you some more character balance patch changes, focusing this time on Jax across the board really. But once again, we're collaborating with some more UK players. I'm going to be joined by Undead Jim.
Alright guys.
Alright, cool. So, much like the last video, I'm really going to kind of let Jim take this one. This really is his video going over what the changes for Jax were. There weren't many of them, but the changes were rather significant to him for reasons obviously Jim will go into. I'm going to be muting my microphone every time he speaks. I think that was the issue we had in the previous video, giving a little bit of echo, so hopefully we should be able to eliminate that. So that's it really, take it away.
Okay, first of all, on the patch, although it kind of just said the one line of hitbox adjustments and combos being easier, that NRS didn't really kind of delve into it, and I'll hope to show you that today. So we'll start with the hitbox. And before the patch, if Cassie Cage was ducking, a hitbox was low enough that that first hit of forward 2 would completely whiff at kind of anything but this kind of range. And at this range, you were already too close to Cassie, and she could down 4, and she could do other things, and back 1 especially. And you kind of didn't want to have to get there before throwing at your move. But now you can see, just purely ducking, I'm able to, at the very max range, still hit Cassie with that forward 2. And she's not low profile in it at all, just simply by ducking. I mean, she can still throw out normals, and if you spam some down 3s and down 4s, maybe you'll kind of see it whiff. There, you kind of saw it whiff where before it was where a hitbox moves. That still can happen, but the most important thing is now they kind of, if they start throwing out kind of loads of kicks, we have our knee that cannot be low profile to punish it. So it's not kind of an one answer solution to Jax now from the lower hitbox characters.
Okay, cool. So obviously the forward 2 being a much better mid is obviously a big deal. But in terms of like hitbox changes to his general combos, so what was the change there?
Well, they only listed the hitbox, but I have a feeling that the gravity or something in the combos was changed and altered slightly, so Jax can hit his combos easier. So before, forward 2-1 into the mid screen was hard on females. It was really inconsistent. But as you can see, first time, really easy. Kind of, you just have one timing for all now. And oh, do you want to say something?
Yeah, so, cool. I was about to say, so generally the issue was that a lot of characters, especially the smaller characters, your general Jax B&B would be very inconsistent, and it was very hard to actually land combos on a lot of the smaller characters, but because the hitboxes have been changed, it's much easier to do those max damage B&Bs.
Of course. Before the patch, a lot of Jaxes would resort to 1-2 over red dash punch, because 1-2 on hit leaves Cassie right next to you, as opposed to any like his other strings that on hit will push you away, and then during the over a dash 1 startup frames it would throw Cassie further away. But because of this gravity change, it's kind of brought a new hit confirm for Jax. Because when Jax is pressuring you, he may be looking to bait out armor and beat it with his 1-2. Now 1-2-3 alone before couldn't combo into the mid screen. It was too difficult because of the pushback. So all we could confirm into is a 1-2-3 gotcha grab. And this wasn't too much damage for us kind of risking getting down poked and like reading an armor. But now, as we can see, we can hit that. I dropped it there, but that's just me dropping the combo. But the fact we can hit the 4-1 and that high means we can get big damage. We can get 40% and break your armor now.
Alright, cool. I mean, do you want to try and give that a go to kind of demonstrate what the combo would be?
Yeah, sure. Oh, let's reset that. Third time's the charm.
And there you go. Obviously, it looks like you got get a little bit of a run cancel there, but from what many Jax players, including yourself, would have said, I mean, that combo was almost impossible to do, especially in like online play. But you know, as you can see here, that general kind of combo string, which used to be said to be impossible because of how difficult the link was, and obviously Cassie Cage being such a small character, it's no longer a problem.
I think that was actually impossible pre-patch. I know I never did it and never tried it, and I don't know of anyone doing it at the time.
All right, cool. So obviously that's one of the changes. I remember you saying earlier on about sort of the corner applications. Like there were certain combos you could do in the corner, meterless, I believe, that again used to be very difficult, but are now not so difficult at all. If you can kind of demonstrate those, I'll reset us in the corner real quick. We'll go reset left. There we go. So we're in the corner now.
Yeah, he used to have a combo that was kind of. You could do it on females, however, it was incredibly tight and it was kind of to the frame. And now, because of the kind of the way that either the 4-2-1 doesn't cause the enemy to drop, your opponent to drop quicker, or the gravity, it's now possible, and I'll try and show that for you now. Oh, let me just get the timing there. There we go. And that's all meterless. And that wasn't really possible before. It was incredibly inconsistent even on males.
I think that kind of really sort of reinforces the fact that I think we talked about this before, where the general consensus seems to be, although not much detail was gone into the changes that Jax received, because his general combo game is better and more consistent, it generally means that you can play the way you want to play Jax, but kind of get more results. And as you mentioned, kind of one combo timing for generally every character in the game. I think that's a pretty big deal in terms of punishes. Yeah,
it's kind of gone from a game of deciding whether you was close enough to get a specific combo, what kind of gender the character you was playing, and what starter you was doing. That's all gone. It's just one kind of timing, and it doesn't really differ that much. It's kind of like, even from like the overhead, oh, miss it there, even from max range overhead, let me see if I can just get the max range on the overhead into the... I'm still able to hit the combo, whereas before, that would have been tough on a male, just simply because I was so far away starting, and with a star that was so inconsistent. But now we see that once you hit with that 4-2-1, whatever they've changed, they allow you to combo more freely, and the hitbox is lower, so you kind of get more time to hit your combo.
I mean, that's really good stuff, I think. Obviously, I know a lot of people kind of wanted buffs for Jax, but I think the most important thing really was just kind of fixing those inconsistencies. Because I suppose really, I'm pretty sure everyone would agree really in that when it comes to like high level play, if anything becomes inconsistent, it becomes like an unnecessary risk, especially if, you're in a tournament and there's something on the line. I really don't think you'd want to sort of be doing those assessments of, is it worth going for max damage in case the combo just drops, seemingly randomly, or just because I'm against a character it doesn't work against. But I think that kind of sums it all up, really. I mean, do you want to kind of remark anything about Jax and what you kind of think of these changes before we go?
I think it allows Jax to play his kind of game plan now, and it allows him to hurt you when he hits you. I mean, before it was kind of, you was fighting against your opponent and you was fighting against the character at the same time. It was, I know personally for females, for some matchups against females, I had to pick heavy weapons just so I could run cancel into the 1-2 starter to allow myself to do a mid-screen. Where now I can I'm not pigeonholed to one variation against a gender, which is silly and it shouldn't really be the case. Now I can kind of pick the best variation for the matchup, and I'm not having to kind of either go, okay, I'm going to try the 4-2-1 combo this time and hope it hits rather than going for my guaranteed knee. But the knee's less damage and it leaves me in a worse position. It's kind of like you had to kind of play this game with yourself of what combo shall I go for? I'd like to get the mid screen because that's kind of what gets me the most damage and it's going to put me in a good position. But it might not hit. And now he doesn't have to worry about that. Now he can just play footsies with his main advancing string to get in. He can just get in and he can open you up and he can combo you.
Alright, cool, brilliant. I mean, that's kind of really all there is to say about it. I mean, I know sometimes these videos can be longer than others, but I think Jax really, there were no major changes, but there were no sort of gigantic changes that we can go on for long about. I think it was really just a case of Jim being able to kind of explain to us just kind of as a Jax main, what kind of combos you can now do, because obviously Mustard and I can't do this stuff with Jax. Undead Jim's been playing Jax since day one, so obviously he's going to know a lot more about these kind of specific combos, which mainly were all that were changed about Jax was the combos and the hitboxes and stuff like that. But I think we'll call it there, really. Thank you very much for being part of this, Jim. We appreciate you taking your time out to kind of do this with us, and it's good to kind of collaborate with other players. But thank you very much.
No worries, anytime.
Alright, cool, brilliant. Well, I think that's going to seal this one up. We've got some more characters coming up next. We actually have got further collaborations with more players. So basically, stay tuned for that, guys. I am Ketchup, joined by Undead Jim. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you soon. Take care.